Hello, welcome. My name's Peter Monin, and today we are broadcasting round 2 of both the Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Sunday Series. Now let's get right in the business for this blockbuster today. So unfortunately I've got all the cool stuff beforehand, as in the event details and the track map and all that, but here is our Xfinity standings as it stands after round 1. So we got Davo with the clean sweep last round, pretty much, almost. He's put himself into the next round of the playoffs. So as of round 5, he is officially a playoff driver. So we got our regular season standings to the left-hand side and our playoff standings to the right-hand side. So the top 8 at the end of round 4 will progress to the next round of playoffs. But other than that, the drivers from 9th to 16th, they still play it out for those positions in the last 4 rounds. So there's still everything to play for the guys that are below the cut line there. And essentially, if you win a race, you advance to the next round as well. So it just makes getting a race win a whole lot more important. So we've got Davo with the clean sweep pretty much and going to the top. Then we've got Exo. Wonderful second place. He's on 35 points. Black Wildcats in third on 34, then 33 for Rojo. Team Little Bear on 32, and Morningstar Mike 31, and someone awesome on 38. And we've got Psycho on 29. Those are your current top 8 drivers, so those are your current playoff drivers as it stands. We go further down, we've got Aussie Chopper, we've got Peppy, we've got Lord, we've got Nacho, we've got Dennis, and then we've got Team Spiral. Those guys got to have an awesome round tonight. So we've got an added feature in tonight's round as well. We have got a scheduled competition caution through the mid-stage of the race, which is due to begin on lap 9. So essentially, the lead driver, the leader of the race, will enable their pit limiter, and they'll be going 60 kilometres for that entire lap, and will resume racing at the start of lap 10. So someone awesome will be calling that competition caution tonight. So I really commend him for putting his hand up to do that. I really thank him for it. And Exo's joining us as well. So here we go. We're on board with Psycho here. Currently, no one's actually recorded a lap time. So what's this going to be for him? A 1:14.7. Current pace setter. A 1:18.1 from Rojo. So 1:14 here looks to be very competitive. We've still got 2 drivers across the line for that. So we might go on board with... So Davo, he's put himself up into the top 3. He's the championship leader here. Already in the playoffs, so doesn't really have to get a good result in the next 3 rounds, but there is playoff bonus points up for grabs, so he'll want to ensure that he gets a couple of those along the way to add to his playoff total. So Exo is currently exiting pit lane now. This is Aussie Chopper on board with, currently in the 3rd sector. So what we've got up for tonight is this 10-minute qualifying session we see on screen now. And then to follow is the 18-lap race with a mandatory pit stop, plus a competition caution. The drivers can choose to do their pit stop in that competition caution lap. But it'll be up to them whether or not they choose to do that. So Aussie Chopper puts himself up into the top 3 of a 1:17.4. So he's still 2.7 seconds off the pace there. We'll go on board with Team Little Bear. So he's currently one of our predicted playoff drivers as well. So he'll be looking to get a race win to cement that spot. So what's this going to be across the line for him? He's got someone following right in behind him as well. Wait to see who that is. Across the line now. So actually doesn't get a lap time there. So that was Davo coming across the line. He's further improved this time to put himself up in the 4th with a 1:16.2. So he's starting to get faster and faster after every lap, the championship leader. Now, Exo, he's in the mid-sector now, but this is an outlap from him. So we'll get back on board with him in a few moments. This is Nachos, and I'm pretty sure he is on a hot lap. So in the last sector now, it's very hard to get it turned in and trying to carry a bit too much speed through this left-hander and right-hander to end the lap. It's very critical that you perfect those last 2 corners. If you go out the slightest bit wide, it would really bite you on the arse as well, because your lap times will be invalidated. So Nachos doesn't record a time there. Someone awesome goes provisional pole of 1:14.6. So currently we are separated by 7/100ths of a second between the top 2. Rojo in third, 1.3 seconds behind the lead. We've got Davo, the championship leader, 4th, having to negotiate traffic heading into the last corner now. So we'll wait and see if that's actually hindered him. He improves by 7 tenths, but it's not enough to go at least P3, so currently he stays P4. Team Little Bear goes up into the top 5. So Aussie has been relegated to P6, so he's got to put in a blistering lap time this time around. We've got less than 4 minutes remaining, as I think that's Nacho off to the left-hand side back there. And Aussie's completely binned it due to making evasive actions there. And unfortunately, that lap is pretty much done and dusted for him. So hopefully he hasn't sustained too much damage, so he can actually crack on another lap. So Exo moves up into the top 5 with 1:17.2. Awesome time from him. His first lap in, and he's already in the top 6 now. He's been relegated because Dennis goes up into the top 3. That's a 1:15.1 from him. So he's half a second off the pole position time. So these times in the mid-pack are starting to get faster and faster, and they're starting to really condense down with the top 5 guys there. So hopefully by the end of it, we can see a 5-car race for pole position here at Watkins Glen. So we'll stay on board with Dennis momentarily as he enters the back straight. Head into the bus stop here. He's half a second up, and it's looking like he could get provisional pole if he can hold on to it. We're going on board cockpit view. Let's see how much speed he can carry around the carousel here and into the last 2 corners. This is really going to be a good time if he's held on to that mid-sector time. He's got lap traffic up ahead. And he's lost a little bit of time in the last sector here, the mid-sector. He's lost 2 tenths. Can he get that 2 tenths back? So currently provisional pole position for Someone Awesome. He's in pit lane, and he'll be struggling to get it back out on track to be able to have another attempt at it. What's this for Dennis? It only goes P2. So not quick enough to go provisional pole. He's been pipped by half attempt there. So he's got a lot of time to find if he's to get up in the pole position. So we'll go on board with Davo. Already in the playoffs. He's down on his quickest hit, but that's the end of the mid-sector. There's still 1 sector to go, the last 2 corners. There's a lot of time that's available to be gained here. Let's see if he's maximised that. So the top 4 separated by 2 tenths of a second. This is what I was saying, being a 5-horse race here. Davo in the mix. We could also see Aussie in the mix as well. So what's this sector split going to be for him? He's currently 2 tenths up. So he's going to get himself within 1 second from the lead of the qualifying session here. As he goes around the carousel now. So a little bit of a wide approach for Aussie here. Has that lost him a bit of time? We'll wait and see at the end of the mid-sector here. So Dennis has decided to park it up. Currently sitting P2. Aussie hasn't lost or gained in the mid-sector. So he's looking to at least improve on his lap time here. But he could put himself up into the top 5 if he can gain 2 tenths in the last sector. We've got less than a minute left in this qualifying session now as Aussie goes across the control line. He improves, but he doesn't improve on the grid. Team Little Bear, he's currently sitting P7, 1.4 seconds off the pace of pole position set by Someone Awesome. Currently 2 tenths up at the end of the mid-sector. He could put himself in the P6 here. We'll watch this with a really close eye. He's hit his apexes very well out of the last corner, but suffers from a bit of extra oversteer. Has that hindered him? He's actually went half a second quicker and he's went up in the P6. So awesome time from him. So Rojo, he's moved up in the P2 by less than 1/100th of a second. That's 2 1,000ths that he's down. We'll stay on board with him as he tries to improve. He's currently down by 4 100ths. Out of the first sector, he's got to gain in the mid-sector to at least challenge that time. So around the carousel we go, trying to maximise corner exit here. Someone Awesome has set a new fastest lap. He's went even further up with 1:14.4. And currently Rojo isn't going to be able to beat that. So Someone Awesome is going to come out with pole position at this stage as Rojo comes out the last corner now, but I don't think it's going to be an improvement for him. It is, but not quick enough. Psycho has parked it up. Davo, the championship leader, is coming out the last corner now. What's this going to be for him? He's currently sitting P5, but he needs to at least gain 6 tenths if he's to improve on the grid. Not quick enough. He improved. But that's Team Little Bear going P2. He's 4/100ths down off of Someone Awesome. So the top two barely separated here at the Glen. Davo, he's parked it up. And Lord is coming across the line now. He's currently sitting P10. What's it going to be for him? So Lord did improve there, but no improvement on the grid. So there is your starting lineup. It will be a rolling start here at Watkins Glen. And it will be Someone Awesome who's leading the pack in the turn one over Team Little Bear on the front row. So let's get right into this. Dennis with a 2-place grid penalty as well. Someone else had a 1-place grid penalty. Wait and see. But the guys are ready to load in their setups and their pitch strategies. So it gives us a little time to go through the grid. So unfortunately you can't see the cars here. Must be a bit of a glitch. But Someone Awesome on pole position. He'll get the bonus point for the playoffs if he makes it. And alongside him on the front row is Team Little Bear. He's looking for a wonderful performance tonight. On the second row, Rojo, a very good qualifying performance from him. He's joined alongside Psycho on the second row as well. So those two, very good qualifying performance. Davo, the championship leader, currently in the mid-pack, sitting P5. So he's got a lot of work to do. And he's joined alongside by Dennis, who had very quick pace in the early qualifying stages, but died off a little bit towards the end. So that's why we see him back in P6. On the fourth row, we have Exo. Alongside him is Aussie. These two have got a lot of work to do. Aussie currently outside of the playoff cut, but Exo is currently sitting second in the championship, so he want to further cement his spot in the playoffs with a good result today. Then we got Team Spiegel. He had, well, what would you'll call a DNF last week because his car was stuck in the track, so he'd be looking to recover off of that, but he's currently sitting P9 on the fifth row, and he's joined alongside Lord on that fifth row there. So that rounds out the 10-car grid here at Watkins Glen for the Xfinity Sunday Series Round 2. So we've got an 18-lap race coming up, mandatory pit stop, rolling start with a competition caution at the start of lap 9. So we're about to get this thing underway. It will be Someone Awesome who leads the pack heading into turn 1. So here we go. The guys are starting the roll out now. Oh, I have to get back up to the top with Someone Awesome. And he's got the outside line here. And that's going to be Team Little Bear taking the inside line heading into turn 1. But he's not going to be able to get him on the brakes. He's not very confident there for sure. Someone Awesome comes out with the lead now. He's got a little bit of a gap in hand. Let's get these split times, track maps and speedos up on screen. And Someone Awesome has really gapped the second place car of Team Little Bear, who's currently under pressure from Psycho and P3. Rojo has lost the spot. He's been relegated back to P4. Davo remains in P5. Dennis up in the P6. Aussie's been relegated back to P7. Good start from Lord. He's up in the P8. Team Spiegel is still in P9, but Exo, the biggest loser, halfway through lap 1, and we got carnage in the background. That's Psycho who's lost the rear end through the end of the bus stop, and he's losing positions galore here. He's got a little bit of side damage there on the front right, left side there. He's really going to be struggling with the stability of that Ford Mustang at Watkins Glen. You can see everyone in the background there from Lord all the way to Exo. And he's almost losing the rear end here. And he's out in the sand trap. He's really struggled off the first lap there. And it's Someone Awesome with a 2-second lead from Team Little Bear in P2. Rojo in P3. Dennis in P4 now after that mistake made by Psycho back in P10. Then we've got Davo. He's in P5 here. So something's happened to him. We've got a 3-car train here from P2 to P4. This is the battle for P2. And currently, Team Little Bear is at the front of this pack. He's currently under pressure by Rojo. Going defensive heading into the bus stop. But he goes back to the traditional racing line as Rojo tries to make a dive down the inside. He gets it done. And Dennis might be able to get up into P3 now. And then you got Davo in the background as well. So Team Little Bear has lost 2 positions out the bus stop. And he's going to lose 3 out of the carousel. He's just going to have to get back into focus now, Team Little Bear. He's lost 3 positions off this second lap here at Watkins, Glen. You can see the cars in the background there from Lord, from Team Spiegel, from Exo. Cyclone Aussie are having a little bit of trouble back in P9 and P10. So currently that was an awful lap from Team Little Bear. He'd be really kicking himself after losing 3 positions out of the bus stop and heading into the carousel. But Rojo has really benefited from that overtake, and he's got a decent lead from Dennis behind in P3, and he's starting to make a gap now, so he's starting to get into a rhythm, and it's someone awesome with a 5.2 second lead over the rest of the guys here. But the question is, will he be able to at least gain that lead back once we start the competition caution? You see, once we enable that competition caution, that's when it all starts to pile back up and everyone will be bumping again. So realistically, he should be trying to save the tyres at some point as well, because that lead is going to be diminished throughout the competition caution. So he's going to have to be cautious of how he plays this opening stint here. So currently Rojo trying to hold off Dennis in P3, and it's Davo in P4. So these 3 guys pretty much bumper to bumper now. This is where the main battle is at. We might actually go further back to see what's heating up back here. And it's Lord trying to defend from Team Spiegel and Exo. So we've got a battle for P6 and a battle for P2. Team Little Bear is up ahead in P5. So he's drifting off in the pit lane now. So a very good strategy play from him as we enter lap 4 here at the Glen. I hope you're enjoying this one as Team Spiegel tries to take a look down the inside, but safe to say, too far back to make the move. But Lord has made a huge mistake out of turn 1. He had shit tons of extra oversteering. Now he's under pressure from Team Spiegel in P6. I reckon he's really feeling the pressure now, Lord. And Exo is also in the mix here, so don't count him out either. He's currently P2 in the championship, and he'll be very aggressive to make these 2 positions up into the top 5. But currently it's Southern Awesome with a 6-second lead. You can only just see the back 3 in the background there. That's P1 to P4 in screen there. So Rojo really under pressure from Dennis in P3. Davo is a little further back now. He's lost a little bit of ground, the championship leader. So the question is, when will these guys start to pit in? Will it be throughout the competition caution, or will it be under green flag racing? So I reckon it's a very gutsy move from Team Little Bear, I think that was. He's all the way back in P10. It's a very gutsy strategy play there. So we'd hope it pays off. But we'll wait and see what happens. So currently we're on board with Aussie. He's currently really struggling this round, all the way back in P9. So hopefully we can see more of him once we get that competition caution, as well as Psycho. He was starting on the front 2 rows at the start of this round, and he currently sees himself all the way back in P8. So he's lucky that there is a competition caution this time around, because that would really help him out. So that would get him back into the groove, no doubt. So back to the battle for P2. It's Rojo still leading this one over Dennis and Davo. And Davo's caught up slightly on the last lap. So this 3-car battle is really starting to heat up now on lap 5. Rojo slightly down on his fastest lap time here. 3/10 to be more precise. And that's Dennis going out slightly wide. He'll be lucky to not cop a slowdown penalty for that. As we enter the last corner now, about the cross control line for the 6th time in this race. So really losing ground for this mid-stage, really struggling on that set of tyres there is Rojo. Dennis and Davo looking to follow him right behind here. We've got a car up ahead. Not sure who that is. That's Team Little Bear. So something's happened to Team Little Bear. He's put himself into the outside wall, and you can see the evidence on the front bonnet there. He's just going to have to limp it back to pit lane now. That's very unfortunate scenes for Team Little Bear. Pardon me. Choosing the pit under green lights. And currently, I reckon that's really going to screw him over now. So, unfortunate scenes there for him. Aussie and Psycho really trying to catch up to the back of this pack. So, what's the current situation for the battle for P5? So, Exo's moved up in the P6 now. He's overtaken Team Spiegel on the last 2 laps. And he's currently under pressure from him now as he has to go defensive around the carousel. So, in the slipstream. And I reckon Team Spiegel is going to make a move down the inside, maybe. Not even going to poke the nose. No, Exo cuts that off. So Team Spiegel takes the traditional racing line there. So heading out the last corner now. These guys are really bumper to bumper. It's pretty much a mirror from the battle for P2. And that was someone else in pit lane. That's Team Little Bear. So he's coming to repair that damage. And unfortunately for him, he's going to go a lap down. So that is very unfortunate scenes there for him. So Rojo, he's gapped himself between himself and Dennis on the last lap. You can see that gap start to extend. So, and Davo, he's drifted off a bit as well. So really a 2-car battle for P2 here. Someone awesome in a league of his own. 7.5 seconds in the lead of this race, but that is going to be cut down in 2 laps time to about 1/100th of a second, around that. That leads to 10th because that's when the guys start to bunch up. So here we go, around the corner for the 7th time now, and it's still Rojo leading this battle for P2. And he could play himself into the lead of this race as well once the competition caution comes out. So we'll quickly review the battle here. So Exo's drifting off in the pit lane now. So yeah, he's definitely in. He's going to do it before the competition caution, which is a pretty good idea. I reckon it was a very optimistic move from Team Little Bear to go in a bit earlier than Exo. I reckon the time that Exo's pitted in is probably the best time if you want to get a gain out of the competition caution. So he's currently in pit lane now. This is Davo. He's got clean air in front of him and behind him. So he can get back into a groove here. He can punch out some quality times here and catch up to rear bumper of Dennis, at least in the next few laps or so. So someone awesome. Coming out of the last corner now. That means the competition caution will be enabled once he crosses the control line. So he's coming into the pit. So very good strategy play from him. And this is officially the competition caution. So I know someone awesome has called it. So Rojo's going to have to go back to 60 kilometers an hour. These guys have to go back to 60. Otherwise there will be penalties. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Rojo's got to slow it down. Got to go back to 60. There we go. He's finally done it. So going back to 60 to let everyone catch up. That's Dennis and P2. So these guys are really going to screw themselves over. Davo, these guys haven't pitted in. So this is a very shit strategy play here from these guys. They're going to lose track position once they come in because the next lap is green flag. We got Psycho, we got Team Spiegel in pit lane, so those guys reacting to this as well. And you know who this is really going to favour? I reckon, Exo's have a little bit of contact, so maybe not. I thought Exo was really going to benefit out of that. And currently he's really losing the stability of that machine there. And Team Little Bear currently a couple laps down. And I think he's unlapping himself there. That's allowed because he's the lucky lap car, I guess, is what the term is in NASCAR terms. Being the only lap car on track, he can get himself back onto the lead lap. Now, I'm not sure how many laps down he actually is. He's actually 2, so That's going to be really hard to catch up. He's gained 1 lap on everyone, but he's still a lap down, so that is going to be struggle city there for him. So currently it's Rojo leading this one from Dennis and Davo, so that's your top 3. Southern Awesome, the first of the pit stoppers in P4. And we got Lord, Aussie, Psycho, Team Spiegel, and then Exo rounding out the top 9, and then Team Little Bear starting to catch up to the back of the pack here. But we are green light racing at the end of this lap. So the top 3 guys are going to have to pit in relatively soon. If not, they're going to have to try gap the guys behind, because Southern Awesome, he's actually went in for his pit stop. Now what happens to Rojo here? He's currently drifting off in the pit lane, as well as Dennis and Davo. So those 3 are in. And I'm not sure what's happening there to Lord, as he had a little bit of extra oversteer out of the last corner. So Southern Awesome, he's going to be leading this one on lap 10. And currently behind him is Lord. I'm not sure if he's pitted in, but he's got a lot of damage on his car. A lot of understeer heading in this turn 1. Aussie's really going to benefit from this as well. He's moved up in the P3. Now he's up in the P2. You can see Lord really struggling with the rear grip of that car. So here we go. Aussie's getting up the speed now. So Carly on board with Aussie. Got a little bit gap in front of him and behind him as well, because Lord is really struggling. And currently he's getting chasing down by Team Spiegel. He's in P4, and then XO in P5. He's also sustained a little bit of damage here as well. So those guys really got to limp these cars around to the end of this one. They're going to try and maximise their points hauls as much as possible. As for Team Spiegel, he's really on the attacking end now as we enter the last corner on lap 10. So is Team Spiegel going to be able to make a move on Lord for P3? As we head into turn 1, I reckon the braking performance is really going to favour Team Spiegel as we enter the first turn. And Lord, a lot of extra oversteering has put him onto the inside lane. And now Team Spiegel is right on the rear bumper. He might be able to make a move heading into the bus stop on lap 11. He's right in the slipstream as well. Southern Awesome's extended his lead out to 4 seconds. So he hasn't left off anything before the first competition caution there. So currently we've got a car off there. Who's that? We got a green car off. Who was that green car? I'm not sure who that was. That was Southern Awesome. So he's lost the lead in this one. Southern Awesome's lost the lead on lap 11. And that's given Aussie Chopper the lead at this one at Watkins Glen. He's right in the hot seat to win this one as we enter lap 12 of 18. We're officially 2/3 through this race. The question is, can Aussie hold off for charging Southern Awesome as we enter the first turn on lap 12? Is he going to use the bumper? He's going to get right in behind now as he tries to slipstream in throughout the back straight here. As we go into the terrain change. Going uphill, it's very difficult to get on the power with degraded tyres. And Southern Awesome, he's going to take a look heading into the bus stop, and he might get it done down the mid-straight here. He should be able to get him under brakes as they go side by side. Southern Awesome's going to get him on the outside, and Aussie Chopper's been forced onto the grass. Tried to outbrake himself, and it didn't pay off. And unfortunately, we have a retirement as well. I'm not sure who has retired, but we'll wait and see until the end. I think it's Team Little Bear. No, it might be Team Spiegel. So Team Spiegel is out of it. It's very unfortunate scenes for Team Spiegel 2 weeks in a row. Unfortunately, it's not going to be any better. Exo, he's currently P3. Lord right behind him with a lot of damage. So Exo, he's really a usurper in this championship so far. He's really cracking it up with the top drivers in this series, as he's setting his fastest laps of the race as well. So he's been really consistent so far in this mid-stage. As we enter lap 13, a little bit of extra oversteer over the exit curb, but it didn't hinder him too much because he's still charging on ahead to catch up to Aussie in P2. He almost hits the outside wall, and he does. So Davo, championship leader, currently in pit lane. So what's happened to him? Looks like he's sustained a lot of damage as well. And that's going to be Team Spiegel who's going past him. And Psycho as well, he's in P7. Dennis is in P6. We've got Rojo in P5. Lord in P4. That's Exo in P3. We've got Aussie in P2 after he lost the lead momentarily from Someone Awesome, who's 2.5 seconds ahead in the lead. So after a disastrous round last week, Someone Awesome is looking to punch his name onto the winning list this time around. Currently, he's down on his lap times, but he's trying to keep it consistent. As you see, a little bit of an inside lock there as he went through the braking zone heading into turn 1. His last lap was a 1:15 flat, so his fastest is a 1:14.5. And that's almost matching his quali time there. And he took a massive curb hop up the hill there. He might be gifted a slowdown penalty from that one. So we do have a couple penalties handed out. So Team Little Bear has sped in pit lane, and he's also accumulated a 1 second time penalty for exceeding track limits. And then we've got Psycho with exceeding track limits as well. He's been gifted 1 second added to his total time. But currently, he won't lose a position for that. So currently he's P8, and he will remain P8 as long as it stays like that. But currently it's Someone Awesome leading this one by 3 seconds now as we're about to enter lap 15. We'll go back on board with Aussie. He's trying to keep the car on the track in P2. And then you got Exo in the background there, looking for 2 podiums on the trot here. He got a second place last week. Can he get another podium this week? Currently, it's looking highly likely. But I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him just yet. He's still got 4 laps to run if he's to do a double podium 2 weeks in a row. We've got Lord in P4. He's tracking well. Rojo, he's lost a little bit of ground all the way back in P5 now. Dennis in P6. Psycho in P7. Team Little Bear in P8. And then we got Davo, the championship leader, all the way back in P9. So he's really struggling. But fortunately for him, he is cemented into the playoffs. So realistically, all he's playing for now is bonus points. And it looks like he's going to lose a little bit of bonus points because leading the championship, you get 15 bonus points in comparison to coming second, who gets 12. So I reckon Exo will come out with the lead of the championship after this one. And he's really going to be right up in the playoff standings as well as it stands. Because he's tracking well in P3 there. And Aussie with a very good performance so far. And he's really carrying this wounded Ford Mustang into a podium finish here. We're about to enter lap 16 of 18. So we're officially 3 laps to go. So he's currently down on his quickest race lap by 7 tenths. So you can really tell these guys are all struggling on those sets of tyres. They're really degraded for this later stage of the race. And Exo really struggling with rear grip out of turn 1. He's really trying to hold on to this one. He doesn't want to let it go. He can see the championship lead and another podium finish in P4 there. And he started all the way back in P10. So he's really been the highest mover in this one so far. So he's set up a really good performance through the race, that's for sure. And I think that competition caution really helped him out. It really put him into the mix. And the guys like Rojo, Dennis and Davo, they all lost out because they didn't pit before the competition caution. Which is I'm a bit curious about that. I thought if Someone Awesome was coming in the pit lane, I thought everyone will follow him in, but that's something they got to rethink heading into the next round. because they don't want to let that happen again, because they'll lose a lot more next time around, because we are going to be at an oval track. Unfortunately for Pepe, he can't join this one because we're already majority of the way through this one, but we will see him in the NASCAR Sunday Series up next. So that will start at 5:15 or 5:45 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So it's someone awesome who leads this one. They're on lap 17. They're on the back straight now. Aussie right behind him. 1.3 seconds is the lead from someone awesome to Aussie. So this could really start the heat up on the closing 2 laps, as Aussie is trying to gain as much as he can in the braking zone through the bus stop. And he's caught 2 temps up back there. And he's taken the wide lane there through the carousel. He's trying to maximise his corner exit speed. But unfortunately, that's really lost a little bit of time, as we head into the last 2 corners now in the last sector. Someone awesome, he leads this one, heading into the final lap. White flag is out. We are officially entering the final lap now here at Watkins Glen. Currently it's someone awesome who leads over Aussie. And it's Exo in P3. Heading into turn 1. What happens here? Someone awesome trying to play it safe. A little bit of Exo oversteer, but he holds on to it. And he's further extended that gap to 1.6 seconds. So Aussie not looking like he has much left in the tank, as Lord comes in for his pit stop here. So he didn't make his mandatory pit stop. So he's going to lose a whole heap of positions here. And Exo currently holding out in P3. He's got heaps of gap in front of him and behind him. His closest competitor is Rojo, who sees himself 12 seconds behind Exo. So Exo is going to get on the podium for 2 weeks in a row. And he's going to take the championship lead as well. It's a very good performance from him. He's really going to be having a celebration tonight, that's for sure. He's got momentum heading out the second round, and we will also see him in the NASCAR series up next as well. Aussie, he's going to come home in P2. Wonderful performance from him. But as for the victory, it's going to go to someone awesome. Racing through adversity this week because he had a poor round last week. And he's going to crack up a nice burnout here, no doubt. There's going to be Aussie in P2, Exo in P3, Rojo coming out the last 2 corners in P4. And we've got Dennis round out the top 5. Consistent result for him. Then we got Lord, he's been relegated back to P6 after that pit stop. We got Psycho on P7. We got side-by-side contact here. I'm not sure who that was with. Team Little Bear got to come home in P8. And then Davo, that was the car battling Psycho there. But unfortunately, Davo's a couple laps down and he's going to finish in P9. But very good performance from someone awesome to take this round out. So he's won the first road course of the season and be looking to carry that momentum heading into the NASCAR series as well, because we'll see him race up next also. Aussie, we might see him if we got spots, because he's earned it. We've got Exo on P3, so that rounds out your grid there. So unfortunately for Team Spike, we actually got DQ. So I reckon he forgot to enable his pit limiter in pit lane. So very unfortunate scenes there for him. So I've taken a screenshot. We'll just reiterate the finishing order here. So someone awesome comes out the win and cements his spot into the playoffs for the Xfinity series. Aussie coming home in P2. New championship leader Exo finishing in P3. Rojo in P4. Dennis in P5. We've got Lord in P6. Psycho in P7. Team Little Bear in P8. Davo, the previous championship leader, in P9. And then Team Spiegel rounding out the top 10 there. And that rounds out the 10-car grid for round 2 of the Xfinity Sunday series here on the broadcasting channels of Better Modern's YouTube and Twitch. So don't go anywhere. We got the NASCAR Sunday series up in 20 minutes time. So I'll see you very soon. As for now, we'll keep the stream going as I get the stuff set up in the background of this one. So we'll just get stuff organised now. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes time. And then we'll be right into the NASCAR Sunday series round 2. Also at Watkins Glen. So I hope you enjoyed the first instalment of this double header here. So don't go anywhere. We've got more coming right up. I didn't have my mic on, so unfortunately no one heard that. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll get this lobby up as soon as possible. So I do deeply apologise for not having my mic enabled. So I'm not sure what's happened here. Not sure what's happened. So I might have to do a 5-minute qualifying session because I forgot the whole starting order. It's very unfortunate. I have to get this underway as soon as possible. Alright, so we've got a few of the Xfinity guys to get in. So we will be doing a 5-minute qualifying session. So I'm not sure what's happened there. There we go. I deeply apologise for that there. And especially with the mic stuff up as well. So everyone's starting to join back. Who are we missing? We're missing Brennicles. Where am I? No, we're not. I'm not sure who I'm missing. I think we're ready to go. We did have a 13 car grid. We'll start this thing up. So hopefully we can get Austral in. I thought I didn't miss him. Alright. Just 5-minute session here, so Austral's got to get in within this 2 minutes here. We got Psycho. I think Aussie's coming out of pit lane as well. I think that's Titan or Brennicles there. So that's the 33 car of Titan. He's coming out of pit lane now. Sorry, this stuff up. Alright, we'll get on board with commentating here. So I'm not sure what's happened in the last race. So Psycho goes across the line there. But I think Titan's further up. So that's racer 24. So we're on board with Titan. He's in the bus stop now. Very taily on the rear end heading into the carousel. So we know Brennicles got provisional pole last time. Unfortunate scenes there as we have to go into another qualifying session. Lost the rear end there quite severely. And I reckon it might be invalidated. No, it's not. 1:12.9 is his quickest. Racer 24 for 1:16.9. 1:16.9 from 1:19.7 from Rojo. Someone awesome goes provisional pole with a 1:12.6. So we've got to remember the guys that were actually in the last session. The pole position time was a 1:10.9. Just going to tell the guys that we need a restart after quali. So someone awesome. He's currently down on his quickest here. So he's not going to improve at this stage. Titan having to negotiate traffic with Peppy on the outside there. Cross control line now. Doesn't improve. So Peppy currently hasn't set a lap. No, that wasn't Peppy. Who was that? Blue XR8. He's seen himself into the inside wall out of the last corner and he's stuck there. You have to do a flick spin there. Someone awesome's chose to return the pit lane, but Brennicles goes in the provisional pole of a 1:12.5. So awesome time from him. Someone awesome currently down and he's stuck in pit lane. We've got Morningstar Mike sitting P4 there. Exo, Morning Star Mike's lost the rear end up the top of the mountain there at Watkins Glen. Exo currently P5. Pepe in P6. We've got Dave on P7. Racer 24 in P8. So he's currently down on his quickest here by quite a huge margin as well. As we enter the last two corners here at the Glen. So we're currently done and dusted for qualifying. Titan sets a new fastest lap of a 1:10.4. What does Brennicles have in response? He's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him as he loses the rear end. And that's done and dusted for him. We've got Exo in P5 there. He's done as well. Pepe currently up by 8 tenths. And that could put him up in the P5 as he has to negotiate the traffic there of Blue XR8 in P13. He currently hasn't set a lap blue, so he's really going to have to charge through the pack in the race. So Pepe goes across the line in P6. Racer 24 in P7. So we're about to conclude qualifying here. So I'll take a screenshot here. I don't think anyone has gone faster. So I'll send that to the group. Just bear with me here. We actually have to restart to get Austral in because that was my bad. I deeply apologise for that. I'll actually get the grid here as well. Hopefully we finish in time as well. So we'll go one lap short as well. So we'll have everybody form up on the first lap. And then we'll set the grid on that first lap as well. Now I'll set the screenshots here for the guys to go by. So I have to exit this because that was my mistake. Ugh. So hopefully we get this done in time. I really screwed this up, didn't I? It's a long process. Sorry guys, just bear with me here. There we go, we should be all good. So unfortunately for Australia, you have to start in P14. So once we got 14 drivers in this one, we're going to go green light racing, the first lap. Well, I'll just let the guys know. I don't want to miss anyone this time. Who's not here? Blue XR8. No. Who am I missing? Just let me get these screenshots up. We're actually missing Lord. That's who we're missing. Bear with me here. There we go. Alright, we can start up. So the guys will be forming up to their positions on lap 1. So it means we'll have green flag racing for the remaining 23. We still have the competition caution at the start of lap 12. And we still have a mandatory pit stop as well. So we're going straight into the race here at Watkins, Glen. A short version of the track. The ones that the actual Cup cars race on. So this is going to be a ripper of a round. And unfortunately for Brennicles, he wasn't able to get pole position in the redo of qualifying. So he's going to have to start on P2. I reckon it's a bit of a blessing in disguise because he's got the inside line heading into turn 1. And no doubt that played a huge role in Titan moving up in the P1 after turn 1 before we saw everyone come to a full stop. So it might be something that actually gets him up the grid further instead of having to wait out on the outside. So the guys will be loading in. They'll be loading up their setups and their pit strategies. And then we'll have the guys form up into position. So hopefully everyone knows where they are. I'm sure the guys go through the grid as well. I sent all the stuff in the group chat as well. Just making sure my mic's working. It actually is. I don't have it muted like I did in the first attempt for qualifying. So I didn't even notice that it was turned off. So I do apologise for that. So actually go through a run through the grid. Obviously I don't have it up on screen. So we got Titan off pole position, leading the way into turn 1 alongside Brennicles in P2. Someone Awesome in P3, and Morningstar Mike in P4. EXO in P5, Peppy in P6, that's your third row. And then Racer 24 in P7, Davo in P8, that's your fourth row. Fifth row is Rojo and Psycho. And then we have Aussie Chopper, and then Lord sharing the sixth row, and Blue XR8 and Austral in the last row there. So these guys will form up this time around. So we've got everyone drifting off to the right hand side that doesn't need to be at the front. So we'll let Brennicles and Titan up into the top 2 spots. And we've got Someone Awesome there. He is in position. So Titan will be leading this one heading in the turn 1. So we will be going single file up until the last corner. Everyone will start to form up double file unless there's some sort of a decision to go single file. I'm not too fussed with that. So the guys look to almost be formed up. Morningstar Mike still got to go up in the P4. As he does so just there. Almost there. So very civilised and very patient from these guys on this first lap. So it looks like we're all into position. I reckon Blue XR8's actually chosen to start from the back of the grid here. Not sure what the strategy play is here. Maybe he knows something I don't. Maybe it's best to start the race all the way back in P14, but wait and see how much ground he can make before the competition caution at lap 12. So for now, it's going to be Titan leading the way into turn 1. He'll be leading this one over Brennicles, the reigning champ. So we will be going single file by the looks of it. And we will be racing from now up until the end of lap 24. So here we go. The green flag is in the air here at Watkins, Glen. Very good start from Titan as he heads into turn 1. Brennicles is trying to stay right in the rear bumper of Titan, but not able to capitalise as Titan goes out wide and he completely screws up turn 1 braking zone. We got cars off everywhere. Severe amounts of damage out of turn 1. A few of the top contenders here, Titan, Morningstar Mike. It's carnage everywhere. So that was Psycho into the inside wall back there. Exo's moved up in the P3. Someone awesome up in the P2. But he's really struggling through the bus stop. Now we might actually see a few green flag pit stops here as well. So Someone Awesome's got a lot of catching up to do to catch up right to rear bumper of Brennicles, the reigning champ. These two, both champions in the Sunday Series. Season 2 champion, Someone Awesome currently sitting P2. Season 3 champion, Brennicles, sitting P1. So we've got two champions battling it out for the top 2 spots here at Watkins Glen. And we've got Exo, who's really on a charge to make a big name for himself in the Sunday Series, as he has done in the Xfinity Series so far. He's currently sitting P3 in this one as we enter lap 3. We've got Rojo in P4. He's trying to hold off Racer 24 in P5. We've got Peppy in P6. Aussie in P7. We've got Psycho in P8. Making a move on Blue XR8. And he gets it done. Awesome move there and very good awareness from Blue XR8 as he tries to get an overlap. Up into the top of the hill now, but Blue XR8 backs out of it. He thinks otherwise before trying to make the move. Now we've got Austral back in P10 in the background there. Lord in P11, Morningstar Mike P12. Davo and Titan both in for their mandatory pit stops. And no doubt they are both unscheduled as well. So as long as they stay on the lead lap, they should be able to catch up to the back of the pack. Once we have a competition caution and there's contact between Austral and Psycho heading into the bus stop. That's very unfortunate scenes there for those two. As we go back to the front, Brennicles into the outside wall out the last corner. So what's happened here? I'm not sure. I'm getting a lot of lag here. I might be disconnected here. There we go, we're back, I reckon. Yep. So Brennicles touches the inside wall there on the entry to the bus stop. But he's got a decent 2.3 second lead in hand over Someone Awesome. So these two both champions in the Sunday Series. So we're currently on lap, still in the pit. Psycho and pit lane. Can Davo and Titan get past him? Pull off an extraordinary performance in this one. We've got Rojo, we got Blue XR8, and we got Peppy. No, so it's a lap car there. Getting out the way. So it's between Rojo and Blue XR8. Rojo is trying to take the defensive line heading into the bus stop. Gets a little bit of a rear nudge from Blue XR8 behind. Really unsettled heading into the carousel. Can he hold off a charging Blue XR8 on the inside here? They're about to go side by side as we enter the third sector of this one. And it's going to be Blue XR8 moving up in the P4. So I reckon a little bit of a throttle alleviation there from Rojo to let Blue XR8 pass as he almost loses the rear end, heading into the penultimate corner. So Pepe's only in the second last corner now, and he's about to get under pressure by Racer 24, currently sitting P7. We've got Austral in P8, Aussie in P9, Morningstar Mike in P10, Ward in P11, Davo in P12. He's given Blue XR8 or someone else. Rojo, rear nudge there, I reckon. We've got Psycho in P13, and then we've got Titan in P14. He's trying to bring around the track here. As I don't think he hit the outside wall there. It's just a bit of latency issues there. Morningstar Mike in for his pit stop. So he's currently drifting off into his pit box there. So current leader, Brenticles, in the lead this one by 3 seconds over Someone Awesome. And then we got XO in P3. He's currently got a lap car ahead in, I think, Davo or Psycho, one of the two. No. So that is the car of Lord there. So currently Lord is also a lap down. So the top 10, rather actually Morningstar Mike is a lap down now as well. As XO gets past with relatively ease on Lord there. Got a very sore throat, trying to persist with it. So currently it's still a relatively easy lead in hand on Brenticles in P1, but we still got the competition caution to come. This 14 car grid will be bunched up in the next 4 laps, so don't go anywhere. We're still going to have bumper to bumper racing after the competition caution. So I'm trying to find out who's actually battling it out with someone here. So we've got Pepe and Racer 24. This is the battle for P5. We'll go on board with Racer 24 here as we go on board cockpit view. See Pepe up in the distance in P5. Still got a decent gap in hand here as we enter the bus stop now. The most technical section on this track, in my opinion, as you've got to try keep the mid-corner speed very consistent throughout the bus stop, heading into the carousel. And then it's a relatively easy last sector as we enter the last 2 corners of the track. They're very easy to get wrong as well, because sometimes you can carry a bit too much speed and go out the slightest bit wide and really be penalised for it. So you can see the ease off of the brake and the accelerator as we enter the last 2 corners here from Racer 24. Trying to not push the boundaries here. So it's a very smooth run onto the main straight here. Unfortunately not quicker on that time around on his quickest race lap. So we'll go back to the battle between XO and Blue XO8. This is starting to heat up between these two. This is the back spot of the podium. And XO's really trying to hold on to this one as he goes wide into the bus stop. Blue XO8 right on the rear bumper now. I'm not sure what's happened there. So, yeah, they're definitely bumper to bumper now as Blue XO8 might be able to make a move down the inside around the second last corner. Is he going to do it? No, he's not. He's going to hold. Experiencing latency issues here, so I apologise for this. I'm not sure what's going on. So XO has lost position, the Blue XO8. We're currently on lap 10 of 24. So we got 2 laps to go until the competition caution. So all the guys on the lead lap from Aussie. That's Blue XO8 into the inside wall at turn 1. He's going to lose position here. Pepe really under pressure from Racer 24 behind as we enter turn 1. And that's Pepe going defensive on the inside and going way too deep on the brakes is Racer 24. He really tried on the outside, and that's Austral in P7, Aussie in P8. Currently, he's really trying to stay on the lead lap here. We got Rojo in the mix as well. I think Davo has actually been a lap car here, so unfortunately, yeah, he's currently not in a stage to win this race. So he's just going to have to track where he's going right now. So currently, Someone Awesome comes into pit lane under green flag conditions. So this is going to be a strategy mix-up from him. As we enter lap 11, Brenticles in the lead of this one. He's currently not in the pits as XO drifts off in the pit lane as well. So Blue XO8 stays out. This is the last lap of green flag racing until the competition caution. So I reckon we'll see Brennicles in this lap as well, and Blue XR8, and pretty much the rest of the field as well, as we see Lord in pit lane now. Now, who else is in pit lane? Someone Awesome has exited, and Exo still in pit lane. Right. Racer 24 moves up in the P5. Pepe moves up in the P4, but those two guys haven't made their mandatory pit stop. So it'll be very unusual if they don't make it next lap, because they'll be slowed right down to 60 kilometers an hour. So here we go. Brennicles is going to drift off into pit lane now. He does just that, and he's got an easy lead over Blue XR8, who currently sees himself in P2, but Blue XR8 still got to make that mandatory pit stop as well. So the lead car that's coming to the pits is Someone Awesome, and he's currently sitting P3. He might have track position now. Pardon me. We'll wait and see if Brennicles just has to stand in pit lane. He does, by the looks of it. He's just exited his pit box now, and there's Someone Awesome in the background now, I reckon. Someone Awesome, he might get the lead of this one, and he does. So Someone Awesome gets the lead of this one under competition caution. So he's got track position now. He's going to have to slow right down to let the guys behind him catch up. We've got Brennicles in P2. Currently Blue XR8 out on track in P3. It's going to be very tight between him and Exo. But Exo has lost out this time around, and he'll start the race after the competition caution in P4. Rojo on P5. The next three guys in pit lane. Racer 24, Aussie and Pepe, all in pit lane. We've got Austral out on track now as well. I'm pretty sure he's pitted in, so he might be able to gain a couple positions with the guys in pit lane now. We'll wait and see if he can. And then we got Davo on the lead lap now as well. Titan also on the lead lap, I reckon. No, so he's stuck right in the mid pack of this. We've got Psycho, and so he's had a little bit of a moment there, Psycho. So he's going to have to start at the back of this one. So a little bit of lap traffic for the guys that will start behind Psycho, Titan, and Lord here. So I'm not sure what's happened to Titan as he's letting cars through. So Morningstar Mike has left the lobby. Unfortunate scenes for him. He was tracking well in qualifying, so he'll be really kicking himself after having to get out of this one. Unfortunately, he's going to see himself go down in the championship standings, so it's a must-win scenario for him heading into the final two rounds. See Cycle off in the distance there, just letting guys past. So Someone Awesome will lead this one off at the last corner here. There's going to be Brennicles right behind him, so we've got a champion battle here between the last two seasons champions, and we've got Blue XR8 and Exo on the second row there, starting to go on the green flag racing here. So Someone Awesome will lead into turn one on lap 13 as Brennicles takes a look down the inside. Is he going to get him under brakes? No, he's not. As they go side by side on the exit of turn one, and I reckon Brennicles is going to get it done. As we head up the hill now, they're still side by side. It's a one-line groove here mostly. And Brennicles gets the move done as you see the rear tail of his car set out there, and he holds on to it. Very good car control from him. Blue XR8 right behind this pack of drivers here. We've got XL and P4, and then Aussie rounding out the top five. Got a little bit of a gap in front of him and behind him. So he'll be looking to punch out some clean laps in the next few laps or so. So currently, Brennicles is leading this one over Someone Awesome, who's lost a few tenths of a second on the last couple of corners. Then Blue XR8 really on applying the pressure to Someone Awesome in P3 as he tries to make a move down the inside on the penultimate corner. They go side by side. There's a little bit of an overlap. But now Blue XR8 sees himself on the outside. And we've got a car out on the exit of the penultimate corner there of Exo. So he's been caught with a slowdown penalty. And Blue XR8, wonderful move as we enter lap 14 of 24. He's moved up in the P2 over Someone Awesome. So Someone Awesome is really struggling on his set of tyres through the mid-stage of this one. And we got Aussie or Exo That's the car of Aussie going out wide there. So he's lost out now. Exo back up in the P4 as he loses the rear end. Heading up into the top of the hill. You can see him drifting around, trying to hold on to the rear of the car. We got Austral, we got Rojo, we got Racer 24, we got Psycho and Titan all in pit lane. Lord is still out on track. And something's happened to him. He's slowing it right down. Not sure what's happened to him. He's got a lot of damage on the front bonnet. But we'll go back to the front where it's Brennicles who leads over Blue XR8. As for Brennicles, he's in the prime position to advance to the playoffs if he can hold off a charging Blue XR8 in P2. So we've got to keep in mind a win will cement your spot in the playoffs, which start in round 5. Currently, there's a lot of bollards off on the right-hand side of the screen there. But currently, it's Eaglewind who's in the playoffs. Now, unfortunately, he's missing around tonight, but he did win the last race, and he'll see himself advance straight to the playoffs. But he will not accumulate any bonus points tonight, so he's really going to have to catch it up in the final 2 normal season rounds. As Brennicles has lost a lot of time in the first sector on lap 15. Blue XR8 starting to catch up to the rear bumper of the number 21 as we enter the bus stop for the 15th lap. Brennicles is up slightly on his fastest race lap here. And he's really trying to hold off Blue XR8 right on the rear bumper now. Separated by 0.2 of a second as we enter the carousel. So we got less than 10 laps to play here at Watkins Glen. And it's a 2-car race between Brennicles and Blue XR8. You can see someone awesome in the background there in P3. And the follow is Aussie and then XO and P5. Almost losing the rear of it is Brennicles out the last corner. He might take it defensive heading into turn 1, but maybe not because Blue XR8 has really lost the corner exit there. Unfortunately, Titan has left. So unfortunate scenes there for one of our championship contenders. So we're on lap 16 of 24 here at the Glen. Still got a lot of racing to play here. And Blue XR8 trying to make moves on every part of the track here. He's really trying to apply the pressure. The Blue Brennicles up in front. The question is, can he make the move into the bus stop? No, he's not going to be able to do it, but he's got him under brakes right up to the rear bumper now. And Brennicles really feeling the pressure as he misses his inside apex a little bit. But I reckon Blue XR8 sort of followed his line there as well. So they both hidden themselves out of the carousel as someone awesome is slowly catching up to the back of this battle here. As Blue XR8 loses the rear end. And he has to set himself back a little bit. So he's lost 0.2 of a second out of the penultimate corner. But he's still on the rear bumper of Blue XR8. He's still in a chance to win this one. And someone awesome still in the background, trying to chase down these 2 ahead of him. And Brennicles has lost the rear end heading into turn 1. And that's gifted the lead to Blue XR8 on lap 17 of 24. Someone awesome is going to get past him. And maybe Aussie and XO, we'll wait and see. Brennicles, he's recuperated from that and he sees himself all the way back in P3 now. Almost 10 seconds down from the lead of this one. He'll be really kicking himself after that mistake heading into turn 1. He went way too deep on the brakes and I reckon he pinched the rear brakes a little bit too much. So a little bit hungry on those rear brakes. And as a result, we've seen him make a mistake heading into turn 1. Now he's under pressure from Aussie. You can see XO and then Peppy in the background there. That's the battle for P5. But currently we're watching the reigning champ trying to hold off a charging Aussie in P4. We've got XO and Peppy in P5, P6, Dave on P7, Racer 24 in P8, Austral in P9, Psycho in P10, and then Lord in P11. So we're about to enter lap 18 of 24 here. So we've still got a quarter of the race to go. And currently it's Blue XR8 leading this one over someone awesome. The gap is 4 seconds in favour of Blue XR8. It is his race to lose now. If he wins this, he advances to the playoffs. If he can hold on to it. This will be a very unlikely performance from him. as he had quite a poor first round and looking to make a name for himself in round 2 here, as he's currently leading on lap 18 to 24. He's really throwing the car around through the bus stop. You can see the rear end of the car really set out left and right throughout that bus stop section there at Watkins Glen. A lot of extra oversteer on exit of the carousel, but he's holding on to this one just fine. You can see someone awesome just in the background exiting the carousel now. So a very big gap in favour of Blue XR8. 5.2 seconds is the gap. Someone awesome's got a decent gap over himself and Brennicles in P3. As for Brennicles, he's trying to catch up to the back of someone awesome, but he doesn't have many laps to do so. He's about to be under pressure from Aussie behind him, P4. Now we've got a battle heading up for P8 here between Racer 24 and Austral. And then we got, I think, a lap car up ahead in Lord. So that's Austral making a move up the inside there. Moves up in the P8, but these guys are still a lap down. So they've got a lot of catching up to do. And Racer 24 has actually lost it there at turn 1. So Austral got no pressure whatsoever for quite a long time now. So we might actually go on board with Blue XR8 to see how he's tracking inside the cockpit on this next lap. So we'll get that up on board. He'll take you for a lap around Watkins Glen here. He's currently in the lead of this one by 5 seconds over someone awesome. So for the moment, I'll shut up and let you enjoy an on-lap view of Blue XR8 at Watkins Glen. Hope you enjoyed that on-board view with Blue XR8 on lap 20. He's on lap 21 now. He's got a 6.8 second lead over someone awesome who's only just crossing the control line. And Brennicles in P3. He's got lap traffic to negotiate here as he gets the move done heading into turn 1. Oh, we got a little bit of contact between him and the lap car. Almost completely lost it. Very good car control from Brennicles to hold on to it. Aussie in P4, and we've got XO in P5. He's trying to get past the 55 car of Austral here. I think Austral's trying to get out of the way at some point. So these guys on lap 21 of 24. Still got 11 drivers out on track. See blue flag for Austral on the race speed here. But I reckon he's got fast enough pace to stay where he is in comparison to XO. So I reckon a very good move by keeping the charge forward for Austral. So the battle between Brennicles and Aussie is now on. Bumper to bumper now as we enter the final 2 corners on lap 21. So we'll officially have 3 laps to run at the end of this one. And it's going to be a 1-car battle for the lead of this race. So that's Blue XR8. It's his to lose now. He's got 7 seconds in hand over someone awesome. But the battle we spectate is the battle for P3 between Brennicles and Aussie. As we enter the last 3 laps, heading into turn 1. Brennicles gets it pulled up quite nicely. And Aussie's off in the background there. He's in the inside wall, so he's rotated it completely. And Exo, he might be able to get past him here. As Aussie's off to the left-hand side of the track. He's got Exo right on the rear bumper now. Now, this is the battle for P4 after that moment from Aussie. So he's in a position to challenge for a podium, and now he's suddenly 8 seconds down from that. And now he's going to have to hold off Exo for P4. We've still got 2.5 laps to run here at the Glen. Currently, Blue XO8 is going to get the pass into the round of 8 in the playoffs. So he'll be able to challenge for a championship if he can hold on to that 7-second lead over Someone Awesome. Someone Awesome currently in the playoff mix, but he's not cemented into the playoffs yet. As for Brennicles, a couple consistent performances from him. He could have seen himself win this race, but a mistake at turn 1 has seen himself all the way back in P3 on lap 23 here at the Glen. So penultimate lap now. So Aussie's trying to hold off, and he's almost lost the rear end once again. But he's held on to it this time, and Exo's trying to make the most of it on the inside as we head up the hill, and he gets it done. Aussie really in struggle town here on lap 23 here at the Glen. You can see that rear end of the car really roll around. He's really struggling with the stability of that car. Now the question is, can Exo hold on? In the number 44 Ford Fusion as he attacks the bus stop with pure aggression there. Really from the rear end of the car around. And Blue XR8, he's on the last lap of this race and currently has a 6.5 second lead over Someone Awesome. So he's looking highly likely to get the win here. And Exo looking really slow out of the penultimate corner. He's really struggling as we got a car off to the inside there. And Aussie makes the most of that and puts himself up in the P4. So Exo, wrong place at the wrong time, has lost the position. He's trying to make a move heading into turn 1, but not up far enough. All he can do is show the nose, and that's Aussie once again. He's lost the rear end of his car. And surely he's not going to be able to regain P4 here on the last lap. He's lost too much time. Not enough laps to catch up. And he's going to finish this one most likely in P6 because Davo now goes up in the P5. He's got a couple top 5 finishes here as well. So he's looking quite consistent in the NASCAR series as well as the Xfinity one. And race complete. Blue XR8 cracks up a decent burnout there and he'll advance to the playoffs. The round of 8 in round 5. Someone Awesome finishes in P2. A very good performance from him. Brennicles, the reigning champ, comes out the last corner and he's going to cross the line in P3. Exo, another consistent performance from him. He's going to come home in P4. One step off the podium. Davo in P5. Aussie in P6. Pepe in P7. Austral going to finish in P8. Racer 24 in P9. Psycho in P10. Then Lord in P11. So everyone's about to cross the control line now. So we're on board with Psycho here. We'll actually go to the race winner. And he's stuck off on the escape road there. With a couple burnouts being cracked up here. End of race shenanigans here at Project Cars. This Exo, he's doing quite a fine burnout. So these are your unofficial results at the end of round 2 here for the NASCAR Sunday Series. Top 3, Blue XR8, Someone Awesome, Brennicles. Those guys, very good performance from them. So Rojo retired on lap 13, but he will get points for P12. So that is race done and dusted. So it will be Blue XR8 advancing to the next round. So next week I'll just get it up on screen. Actually, I don't have anything made up for it, so I'll have to quickly have a look here. I think it might be Texas Motor Speedway. Just don't quote me on that quite yet. So Texas Motor Speedway next week for both the Xfinity and NASCAR series. I'll see you at the same time, 4:45 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. But for now, we still have... Oh, Cuba. Oh, unfortunately, I didn't see that message, mate. I'll try to get you in next week for the Xfinity series, mate. So I'll send you a whisper on Twitch and I'll get in touch with you there. But as for now, we are currently concluding round 2 of both the Xfinity and the NASCAR Sunday series. So next week, same time, different track at Texas Motor Speedway. But up in an hour's time, we have Race on Oz's Pagnian GT3 series at Silverstone National. It's going to be a 49-lap race.